All right, so we should be live right now. But before we kind of get this thing underway, I guess there's anything that you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out, anything like that.
Nah, I just shout out to the whole CBG crew.
All right, and that's kind of how we're able to kind of get back in touch that whole CBG thing. I just figured out kind of what it means. I want to ask you too though, what does CBG mean?
Certified bucket getters. It's a sisterhood based off basketball, but it's bigger than basketball. It's like the people who are in the group, they have good character. They're just good people to be around, and that's really it.
Yeah. How'd you guys kind of all I guess meet each other? Like was it all from a team or a camp or social media or could like any I guess girl hooper kind of put that as their Instagram.
Everybody not CBG material.
So some people may have it but they're not it.
Uh, uh,
Oh that's it. I did not so it's not like so I could easily put CBG on Hoops FL and that'll be technically legal but not like yeah you shouldn't do it.
uh,
Yeah. So who's like the legit certified CBG crew?
I would say everybody you see on our page, on the CBG page, if they're in the CBG page or if they're in the group chat, then they certified. Like all of it, everybody don't have CBG in their name, but a good amount of us do. So if they don't have CBG but claiming CBG, just look on the page and you will see.
Yeah, and who kind of came up with that?
Actually, it was me, and then me and Jada. I called Jada. I was like, "You want to do this?" The boys had their own group, and they never included us in nothing. So I was like, "Okay." So me and Jada did it. Then we had two, Shy and Tasha, who live in Toronto. We was originally just like the four that was in it, and then we just added more people, and it was kind of like just for fun, really. But then it took off, and then like overtime was posted, and people was asking for merch. People was doing this and this, and like, of course, we can't get do the merch yet until they pass the likeness rule. But we was like, oh, they serious about it. Like they actually like it. And then college coaches used to talk like when we talk to college coaches, they oftentimes bring up CBG. So it was like, oh, like they actually be seeing us like this,
Mm-hmm.
and so it kind of just took off and went from there.
Yeah, and I just looked at the page like this is almost like a legit business. Like this is nothing
That's the
to mess around with. Is this kind of like did it start off just kind of let's all kind of make a little fam and then all of a sudden it just took off and now you might even let's say basketball doesn't work out now you kind of have a whole you can literally turn this page like a whole backup plan go like, it could be a whole career.
yeah, like there's most definitely like the CBG, like when they pass more rules, CBG gonna have a lot of more outlets and opportunities. And then the fact that we know a lot of people, we can connect with a lot of people. And like I said, turn it to more than basketball too.
Yeah. Do you have it all like you said, kind of turn it into more than basketball? Like, do you have maybe any sort of future goals for that, I guess, brand almost?
Yes, one thing that I actually want to focus on with the athletes with CBG is mental health because there's a lot of stuff that goes overlooked in basketball or in sports in general. So I just want that to be one thing we focus on: mental health.
Definitely. And I guess that whole CBG crew, we kind of talked about them, but someone else, that's pretty notable is rapper NLE Choppa. I mean, you're pretty famous, but this guy's, I guess, on a whole other level of fame, I guess you could say. Has a lot of hits. What's it
Yeah.
like? You see him as a normal guy. Like, what's like having a relationship with a famous rapper like that?
I mean, it's still the same because I was there before the fame. I didn't just come on when he got famous, so it's really just the same. Only thing is when you go out, like everybody just always following us around or trying to take a picture.
Yeah. Is that something like I kind of want to know? Like, does that get annoying when there's a lot of people like always wanting pictures and everything?
Yes, that's so annoying. Like on my Instagram that day when we was at Dave and Buster's for my birthday, like literally, like people followed us to every game or they just would stare at us and record for like one person followed us around for like 30 minutes just recording.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie. Like since I feel like everyone does an interview with me is obviously some sort of humble and grounded because I'm not like the NBA or some like completely famous person. So I feel like everyone that talks to me is pretty humble, but like, so would you say, let's say that you were never, let's say he was never even famous and you were just, with your friends, let's say you were the most famous one and people maybe like want, maybe not as many people, but maybe, let's say 10 people per hour ask you for a picture. What would be your philosophy with that? Are you trying to get every picture? Are you maybe going to have to tell some people no? What would you do with that?
I mean, I'll take some pictures, but if I get to a point that I don't want to take them, I'm gonna tell them no because at the same time, I'm still human. So if I don't want to take a picture, I just don't want to take it.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Like, cause I mean, I'm the class of 2022, so I'm pretty sure like a year old. Like, I just can't imagine like walking or like going to Dave and Buster's and being like bombarded with fans like that just must be unbelievable almost. Yeah. And you mentioned saying like, you were kind of there, like you were his friend before the fame. Like how cool is that to see? Like I'm sure it's even cool people with you kind of seeing you just grow up and now all of a sudden you're this celebrity and you're gonna play Division I basketball. I'm pretty sure you're ranked like top 100 in your class. Like it's like obviously, for me, I had no idea who you were until less than a year ago. So I can't really like say anything about that. But like how cool is it to see someone just go from just a normal person to now like a celebrity?
It's cool and it's just amazing because you don't know like how your life might change within a year or some years, and it just show you like stay down. You don't know like your friend come up could be your come up too. So it just show you be 100, stay down.
Definitely. And I mean, your Jackson State commitment, I guess you could say, was pretty revolutionary because I'm pretty sure I saw something like you're that first top 100 commit to ever go to an HBCU. I guess before we kind of maybe get into that decision, like, how does it feel to change the culture now?
I mean, it feels good. Like I did it for me, and it just so happened to blow up. But that's just where I want to be. So if it's good with me.
Yeah, and I guess so. It's not really like I guess something crazy. You like you literally are like you're that first person to almost spark the wave. Like anything that comes like let's say the number one player, number one girls player of all time, all of a sudden commits to HBCU. Like they're probably gonna have to bring up your name because you're kind of the one that started almost. Like is that something pretty cool?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. And I guess what would you say is your opinion on the whole like HBCUs kind of thing? Because some people, they'll put it in their top 10 for their commitments, or they'll say, I'm gonna take it seriously, but they're really just kind of saying it for the social media or just for their like public perspective. What's kind of your opinion on people like speaking like that sometimes?
I mean, I would say just like, what they do, not really my business. But for people who do that, I feel like they shouldn't, if they're not really interested, don't waste their time. Like, and you don't have to do it just because it's a way. Be true to yourself. If you don't want to go to HBCU, don't even look that way. If you just want to go to a Power 5, then do that. Like, you don't have to get caught up in what the media is saying we should do.
Yeah. And I'm sure the recruitment process was probably pretty hectic. I'm sure you had other schools besides Jackson State hitting you up. Just how was the overall recruitment process for you?
The recruitment process, it was low key stressful, especially with COVID because I didn't get to finish all my visits, and I actually wanted to take all my official visits. I did a few unofficials, but like, and then with the Zoom calls, like it was cool, but I get bored because I'm like, I'm just
Yeah.
really just had to buckle down on my faith and pray and just wait to God send me where He feel I should be.
Yeah, and I guess how like I don't make you like sad or anything, but kind of like how disappointing was that? You kind of had all these plans, like probably looking forward to finishing out your junior year and having a good senior season and going on all these visits and playing AU basketball maybe and all this stuff for it to kind of all end and everything. How are you able to handle that and just deal with all I guess that disappointment?
Well, it it took time. I mean, me getting over it didn't happen overnight. But I would say, like, I just had to realize to control what I can and let go of what I can because, I mean, I can't control COVID coming in and stopping everything. So I just had to, just let it be. And actually, this break actually helped me more than it hurt me. So I can't really trip.
Yeah. What would you say would be some of the stuff? Like I would even say, the whole Corona break kind of, if it wasn't for, Corona, I would never be talking to you. I probably still never know who you were because I wouldn't be like on Instagram, like trying to find hoopers all day. So, I mean, how did the break kind of help you out?
Actually, because I was still battling with some inner things, just like from a mental standpoint, with losing my brother. So instead of basketball always being an escape, like, oh, I'm gonna go play basketball, I ain't gonna think about it that much. I really had to just sit down and learn how to cope with things and understand that it's okay to feel how I feel. So it helped me from a mental standpoint to better myself.
Yeah, I agree. And like, I don't know if I saw it from a movie or something like that, but like, I don't know, someone said like you really can't just like the more you kind of hide your emotions, like I almost feel like it's impossible just to like if I'm mad, like I feel like it's impossible just to hide being mad for a long period. Like it makes me kind of like stress out thinking about it. Like I don't even think that's like humanly possible. You just kind of gotta let it out for an hour, you
Yeah,
know, scream in a pillow, and then just kind of move on with life. Like that's kind of what you have to do.
for real.
Yeah, just what like it seems like you are, I guess, maybe not into mental health, but you obviously do take it seriously. Is psychology or like I don't know, something like that? Is it like do you know what you're gonna maybe study in college?
Psychology. I'm gonna go for psychology.
Yeah. I'm actually like I'm in a psychology class right now. I'm thinking like that I find it kind of interesting too. Have you taken like a psychology course before, or is like college gonna be your first time?
I mean, I took psychology and sociology in high school. It was like that, but it was just because it was a required class.
Yeah, that's interesting. For my school, like, I mean, I actually I took sociology as well, but it wasn't a requirement. I just took it like as and like it was a pretty interesting class. I have to admit. Yeah, but I don't know, like it wasn't. I still like don't really like. I didn't understand what sociology meant. I honestly don't think I even know what it means still. To like it's like yeah I don't even know what it means. I can't even explain it to you. I just kind of had to figure it out.
Yeah.
But as continuing on with that recruitment process, like since you said you couldn't go on those visits, like, and I guess you mentioned faith, and that was like a big factor. But how are you really able to make sure like you are making the right decision?
Because, like I said, honestly, I really didn't know where I wanted to be, and I just kept praying. And then it was like 10 o'clock one night, and it's like God just came and sat down. It was like what you waiting on, what you said you was looking for in the school is right there. And then like 5 minutes later, I called the coach that night. I didn't care what time it was. I called her and I told her that. I was like, "You for real?" And I was yeah, like my mom. I didn't even tell my mom or my brothers first. I just did it, and then I told my best friend, and I was like,
Yeah. So was the whole, but then like I guess when you were gonna announce your commitment, was that gonna be a little more planned, or were you just like hitting up all these people like, "Yo, I'm committing, like we gotta do something."
"Now look, actually, like okay, with the commitment process, okay, so I told them back like in September, probably before Dion. But I was just like, let me get everything in order first. Let me, get stuff planned out before I put it out. So they had to keep that secret for like a month or a month and a half. Then when I put it out, that's when everybody knew.
Yeah, that definitely must have been pretty crazy for sure. So you said like like I say, God has kind of told you like everything you want is just right there. What were those things that you wanted out of a school that Jackson State has?
Actually, I just wanted to go somewhere with a family like environment where the coaches were genuine. They had a nice recruiting class coming in. Then I wanted a coach that looked at me as more than a basketball player. Like basketball don't define me. There's more to me than basketball. And they understood that. And I want to be able to expand my brand. And they actually they're gonna allow me to do what I want to do with CBG and help me to expand CBG the way I can.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say like you're gonna be the next Snacks. He's actually someone I talked to before. I'm sure you know who he is, but I just realized like because they said expand the brand, like I just remember like they made shirts of him like Nike shirts and everything, and they were selling at the store. So like they're obviously there's evidence that they could probably expand the brand since they kind of did that with him.
Hmm?
Yeah, is he somebody that you've ever spoken to before or no?
I just heard him. I seen him get an award. I was like, okay, you must. I said, okay, their alumni and fan base must be hard if he got that award. So I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
ride with their people for sure.
Yeah. I remember. I guess I interviewed him also after he kind of blew up, but I interviewed him before the award, so I guess you could say I saw it coming. I had that vision, but I want to talk about like I think some experiences you had because I actually looked at like I guess some of the questions I wrote down before, unless maybe I was thinking about someone else, but I'm pretty sure it's with you. Yeah. I was even fact check myself, but you went to I think the overtime takeover. You're even wearing overtime merch right now. What was that experience like?
It was dope. I'm sad that I couldn't go like the first 2 days because I had to stay here to get an award in Memphis. So when I got there on that Saturday, and really before that, I was really like, it was like up and down with basketball, but I just so happened to get invited. So when I went, that overtime event kind of like brought some of my love back for the game, honestly, because it was fun. Then I was like, okay, I made it here to play with these type of players, so obviously I'm doing something right. And like like I said, it just brought the love back. It was fun.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a really fun like they didn't like Gunna come out there and like what was Gunna there?
Actually, I was talking to him because when I got on the elevator, he was getting on, so we were just talking like a normal conversation.
Yeah, is that I mean I feel like NLE Choppa and Gunna are kind of two different two like obviously it's all rap, but they're definitely two different styles of rap. But is that somebody that I guess you listen to a good amount of?
Yeah, at first when he first came around, like when him and Lil Baby was collabing a lot, I listened to him, but I can't cap. I don't know where Gunna been at. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I love Dirk. I love Dirk.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, I thought Gunna was new. Well, it's not really as new anymore, but I thought it was actually pretty solid. The Lil Durk album, I think that one, like, I definitely wasn't terrible. I would say that one was decent in my
Oh,
opinion. Like, there were some songs, but the Rod Wave album though, that's better than both of them.
I mean,
The
I can't say Rod came hard, but I can't put them over Dirk. Top Dirk, Kivo, that's my top three.
Yeah, I guess for me, but also like I'm a Florida guy, so I'm also I'm gonna try to listen to some Florida people too to support the home base. But his album though, like I'm not you have to listen to it more than once because the first time I listened to it, I was extremely disappointed, and then I was like, let me listen to it again. And I'm like, oh, it's a lot better.
Yeah, like Rod, don't know Rod hard. He one of my top five. He just not my top three. I'm going with my home team and Dirk.
Yeah, exactly. You got to go for the home team. But you did say,
Yeah,
you have listened to Gunna before, so you knew who he was. Like,
yeah.
like you kind of have to. Like, even for me too. Like, when I saw Raven Johnson at Hoops Given, I was like, oh my god, like I'm telling. Like, I thought she was like a complete because her name is Hollywood Raven, so I thought she was gonna be like, one of the rudest people I ever
Ooh,
met. Yeah,
ooh.
she was pretty nice, but like it's in that like split second, it's like breaks that barrier from like complete celebrity to
Yeah.
normal person. Is that kind of what it was like with Gunnar, or for like maybe that whole conversation you couldn't even believe that you were talking to him?
I was talking to him like a regular person. I was checking him. He was laughing. He was like, "You funny." Like normal person. He didn't act like he was famous at all.
Yeah, that definitely must have been pretty crazy. And I think I saw too. Were you ever at like a USA camp?
Oh yeah, I was.
Yeah, so I mean that's obviously a pretty big deal. Probably even bigger than the overtime takeover thing, in my opinion. Representing the country. What was it like going to that camp?
It was actually unexpected, but it was a great experience. You got to meet some new people, see different styles of play, and just see that it's like a real serious event. Cause it was I can't even cap. It was kind of stressful because you got to be on your p's and q's. You can't do nothing wrong.
Yeah, you're actually the second person I interviewed that said P's and Q's, but the first person that said that, because I only know what that means from actually, sorry, I only know the saying from a Lil Uzi song. I don't know what it means. I don't know, and the person I asked, he's like, I have no idea what it means either. It's all my friends say it, so I say it too. Do you know what that stands for?
Be on your A game, like you gotta you on thin ice, like you gotta do no
Yeah,
room no room for mistakes.
yeah. Were you at all like I guess you could say a little nervous at that Team USA camp then, since you kind of said that?
At first I was, but I'm the type of person I just go with the flow. I'm like, do what you can do. If it go how it's supposed to go, we do. If it don't, go home, practice, try again next time.
Yeah, definitely. And I want to bring it back to where you kind of said like the overtime takeover, I guess you could say, kind of made you fall back in love with basketball. Like, I guess how did you kind of start taking basketball really seriously? Like in the beginning, like did you just always stay in the gym all day and practice? Like we maybe always playing games. Like how'd you get good at basketball?
Well, yeah, honestly, first I'm gonna say it's a God given talent because I like my mama don't play basketball, my dad don't play, and then I was athletic. So I would say it came from just I always was outside playing with the boys, playing street ball. And I used to be playing on the boys team, so I think that's really what made me good. And I when I was younger, I worked out a lot, but as I got older, I just free play, AAU. That's it.
Yeah, and I mean, at least like when I was younger, all I did was play one on one with my neighbor. That I at the time I thought he was going to go to the NBA. I thought he was very very good. He still is very good. He'll destroy me any day, but he's definitely not going to the NBA or anything. That's kind of how I guess you could say I got decent at basketball, and I never really thought like, oh, girls suck at basketball. I honestly like just never thought that. But I'm wondering, like when you're playing the boys, like that's someone boys think about. You're like, oh, like girls can't hoop, whatever. When you're probably beating these boys, I'm assuming what's the reaction like?
I mean, like now, up now, like most boys, they don't even play me really. But like younger, they used to be like, oh, like she a girl, leave her open. Then I make it, and then they're like, oh, then like, I don't want to guard her or something like.
Yeah, I did. Wait, did you ever see the video? There was a video of like I think it was like a boyfriend or girl and his girlfriend like fighting, but like obviously not because like they were mad at each other. Like they were just fighting like just like they were friends and like oh like let's box and the girl like knocked him out.
Oh yeah, I seen that video. I seen that video the other day.
Yeah, that like obviously again like a girl would definitely knock someone out, but like I mean that's just bad. Like the guy's like reputation like is like wherever he goes now like
Yeah,
that's
fact.
a complete different respect.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just looking at like all these like Instagram posts, like, you just get thousands of likes. Like some of your mixtapes over 10,000 views, over 20,000 views. I mean, 31.2 thousand followers is a lot of people. Probably as much as like a whole arena full of people that all follow you. What's it like just having like when you post on Instagram, all of a sudden just blows up like snapping my fingers? Like what's like just all that social media fame?
I mean, I really don't get caught up into that. Like I still look, like I said, I still look at myself as a normal person, and then like I try to respond back to people because I mean, just because I'm good at basketball, I'm not different from nobody else. So I don't really let it get to my head. It's cool though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how did you like? Do you know like how you kind of blew up on Instagram and everything?
I mean, I honestly don't know. Like I always had a good, decent amount of followers, and it's like they just keep going up and up. I don't know.
Yeah, so it's just like I guess over time, like I know one person that has like 11K and is like I just got Instagram as soon as it came out, and after having it for 10 years, like it's impossible to not have like a big number. Is that kind of like what you would say happened with you?
No.
Oh no. So you think you maybe have like a few viral videos?
On my page and seeing that bright smile. That's why. That's
Yeah,
why.
yeah. Yeah. You do have pretty nice teeth. I have to admit.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. I remember my teacher. I feel like my smile is kind of like I don't know. I kind of like my smile, but like my picture smile, I think is all right. But my teachers would say like I would never stop smiling when I was a kid. I don't know. I don't know why. I was just one of those.
That's the best way to be. Just
Yeah,
smile.
yeah, exactly. I mean, at the time, I actually like was like when my teacher would say that, I'm like because I thought it was not cool to like I thought it wasn't cool to smile. Like I would think like the coolest kids in class would be the ones like in the elementary school pictures that never smiled. But now those are like I mean that's so weird. Like kids that don't smile in like a picture, I find that like so weird. But I guess I kind of want to talk about like smiling, maybe having like a camera presence. Actually, I asked Raven Johnson this question
Mm-hmm.
when I interviewed her. I'm like, do you practice like being interviewed or something like that? Like it seems like you like being like interviewed and everything like that. Is that kind of some of you like? Do you enjoy kind of being on camera and all that stuff?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you ever see the ad that Sue Bird got in with Stephen Curry?
The who?
You know who Sue Bird is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think she got on like an ad with Stephen Curry. I don't know if you saw that ever.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Yeah, yeah. I'm wondering like if you let's say make it to the or even actually I don't know if that's legal for a college athlete, but I guess I guess once college ends, you get the opportunity to be in a commercial. Would you do it in an instant?
I do a commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be on a commercial.
Yeah. What would be like maybe your dream like your dream commercial maybe?
Um, um,
Probably like a CBG commercial probably.
yeah, CBG. We got watch. Give us some years. We're gonna have some commercials to watch it.
Yeah, that would definitely be pretty crazy for sure. And just my final question for you: what do you want your legacy to be like once you step away from the game of basketball?
Um, I would say that like I was a winner. Um, I gave the game life. Like I gave the game excitement. When I step on the court, you're gonna see this bright smile and me getting buckets. So that's what I say. And I looked out for other people. I made sure everybody on my team or just associated with me was good.
Definitely, that sounds awesome. But anyways, make sure you guys give me a follow or give us a follow on Instagram at CBG. I don't know how you say that. I see it. It's like Sequoia, but like with a one instead of an I.
And when you type in the SE, it's gonna pop up.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, even typing the CBG, it'll pop up. But yeah. So again, give her a follow. CBG dot. I guess CBG.se. It'll pop up. And I'm iHoops FL. And anyways, for Jackson State commit Sequoia Allmond, I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another iHoops FL interview. Peace out, guys.